The brand revivalist and owner of Box and Iron, practicing what I preach as I'm playing with more tools for introducing more live broadcasting into the repertoire with podcasting and you name it. I wanted to take the time today to hit on something that I see a lot of businesses struggle with, and that's differentiation. When it comes to the market being as it is right now, with it being loud and noisy, people are really looking for ways that they can stand out. And it is a great thing for being able to help to create some separation between you and all the other people that are in your space. I know that there are, some industries that can make it seem a little bit harder than others when it comes to how do you really differentiate? How do you stand out? Like how many different ways could you possibly paint a room or fix a car? And understanding that there are a lot of companies that struggle to feel like they can really have a lot to stand on when it comes to separation. Some try to do it through visuals, things that speak really loud to the market, but may not always connect with their brand, like who they are, who they're here to serve, and what it is that they offer the people that they're here for. So, when we talk about differentiation, I think it's very important to remember a few key things. And for those of you that watch, I'm going to be actually gifting you with a free resource that's going to help you to really unpack this and leverage it. It's just my thank you to you for just being who you are and bringing your amazing value out into the world. So you'll want to make sure that you get your hands on that. It is a simple workbook that is going to be gold if you put it into practice. Now, when we're talking about brand differentiation, when we're talking about differentiation strategy, we're really looking at the different things that make you unique. That seems kind of obvious, right? But it's not limited to the product that you sell or the service that you offer. When it comes to standing out within your industry, there are so many different ways that you can be uniquely you. When you look at a company like Tesla, for example, they lean into a number of different things that help them to stand out in all the subtle ways. So when you buy a Tesla, you don't just buy a car. The way they even go about delivering that to a consumer is very different from the experience that you would have buying most any other car, where you would go to a dealership, you go to a lot, you're going to walk around the lot, talk to a salesman, all that. No, 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 not with Tesla. I can go to the King of Prussia Mall and walk in. And actually, I've seen where, Porsche will do this too. They have their own dedicated space there as well, where you go into the mall. It's part of your shopping experience. You're not looking at a whole slew of cars. You're just looking at that, but it allows them to create an atmosphere and an environment that is very unique to them. So the mechanism of delivery or how you sell a person a thing can also be a point of differentiation. What I think is very important to remember when we're looking at differentiation strategy is it really comes down to experiences. Everything that a person encounters about you and your brand creates an expectation as to what it could look like for them to step into your world, for them to give you their yes, not just their money, but their time, their energy, their focus. Maybe they're saying yes to you and consequently no to all the other alternatives out there that they have access to. What makes that make sense? It's not just that you do the thing. It's not just that you paint the room or fix the car or handle the plumbing. There are different things that make you more relevant to that person than maybe the alternatives. Sometimes that might be values based. There are a lot of people that they love knowing that a company doesn't just do amazing work, but resonates with their values. This goes into identity talks where I'm not going to get too deep into that and unpacking the layers, but essentially them saying yes to you actually affirms who they believe themselves to be and the values that they uphold, the standards that they uphold, that they wouldn't dare compromise that by saying yes to a company that actually goes against that, right? So it might be that you have a unique set of values. It might be that you take up a unique position within your industry on social matters or environmental matters. It could be political matters. Maybe it's other economic factors. It might be how you make sure that your company eliminates all wastes in the clothes that you produce or anything like that. We could unpack for days all the different points that you could lean into to create a very unique experience. It might be the onboarding experience. What does it look like when they say yes? Maybe they pay you the deposit or they sign the agreement. And then what happens after that? Right. So some companies leave it so cut and dry that it's like, we're going to go out, we're going to find the customers, we're going to sell them the service, we're going to go do the service, and we're going to hope that they liked it enough to leave us a really great review. And that's kind of the limit that they put on their customer journey. What could happen in your business if you unpacked the entirety of your customer journey and really looked at every touch point and said, how can we intentionally show up here? How can we intentionally create an incredible impression or experience at this point in the journey? How do you create not just an experience, but a story that somebody can tell to their friends and family who you would love for them to introduce you to? All of that stuff is part of your brand strategy. These are questions that I see too many companies go out with them unanswered. Right. But what could happen in your business if you stopped and took the time to answer them? So, again, when it comes to the different layers of brand differentiation, there can be points that are directly related to the product or service that you offer. It could be related to the experience somebody has, that the world you're building, the atmosphere you're creating, maybe the post service follow up, or maybe like after they got the product, do you have a sequence or a workflow where you make it a point to follow up with that person to see that they're enjoying their use of it? Is it something that there needs to be other steps there that work on habit formation or whatever? How is it that you can create a unique world and experience that your people love stepping into and then love inviting other people into? If this is something that you feel like you struggle with, you're like, man, I know I need to stand out, but I'm really having a hard time with it. Like, maybe you've gone to AI and it's tried to give you all of this stuff, and you've gone to these people and they tell you you need to be in all these places, and none of it really makes sense. Then I would challenge you to make sure you get the free download that I have to offer you. It's called Above the Noise: 31 differentiation strategies that you can leverage for high impact branding. And as I say that, this is just a gift. I'm just giving it to you. I want you to stand out in your incredible value. I want you to stand out as you take your amazing things out into the world to meet the people who are meant to receive the gifts that you have to offer. When you look at that resource, I will tell you this. I know the idea of having 31 differentiation strategies, like it can sound like a lot, but understand there are going to be some that might be completely irrelevant to you, and that's okay. There are going to be some that you're going to come across. You're going to answer that question and you're going to start to view your business in a little bit different way. You're going to start to see things that maybe you didn't see before. And then you'll start to see the layers that you can stack. So when it comes to differentiation, you might have one thing that makes you incredibly unique. It might be that you offer something that no one else offers. Or it might be that you offer something that a lot of people offer, but they don't do it like you. And you being able to go through and peel back those layers and look at like your own strategic brand stack, even when we're just talking about that one little segment of your brand and that differentiation strategy, you learning to leverage that is going to put you worlds ahead of so many other people in the market. So I'm curious to know, what is something that you find unique? And I don't mean this in a proud, boastful kind of way, but just owning your awesomeness, right? What is something that you find unique to what you offer, or how you do business, how you engage with your clients and customers that you just don't see the others in your industry, your competitors doing, right? Not putting your competitors down, not trying to hype yourself up too much. It's just owning your awesomeness. Don't be afraid to do that. What are some unique value propositions that you offer to the people that are out there considering whether or not to say yes to you? Make sure you drop it in the comments below and let me know if you're interested in getting that resource. I'm going to try to make sure that after I wrap this live stream up that I get that into the captions so you have a link. But just, don't be afraid to send me a message. Tap me on the shoulder. Say, hey, make sure that I get that document along with maybe some of the other free resources that I have that I'm getting ready to release to you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. Looking forward to see what you do with the amazing brand that you are building. Take care.